Today we're going to have a look at how to get to the McSweeney property at Kilkivan, some gold maps of the area, where you can camp on the property, some of the gold bearing parts of the West Coast Creek, and then we'll go into Kilkivan, the town itself, and have a look around. Finally, we'll get home and see if we found any gold. Coming up from Brizzy, it's 214 k's in just under 3 hours, and if you're heading southwest from Hervey Bay, it's only 128 k's and just over an hour and a half. The property's about 6 k's out of town down Rossmore Road. So when you're coming down to Neville's property, you're going to come down Rossmore Road down this way. That's town back there, which is about 6 k's. You'll get to this little point here and you're going to chuck a hard right into Cemetery Road, and that's the cemetery there. The gate to Neville's property is here. Now, on the property, you've got West Coast Creek. Now, West Coast Creek runs the length of the property from here all through there. And I'll just put up the boundary to Nev's property. The boundaries are here, along here on West Coast Creek Road. The fence line's there. And I'm not sure, up this way, I'm not sure where the end is, but it doesn't really matter. Along the creek, there's a couple of crossings. There's a crossing here, and the second crossing's about here. And all of this area is where you can prospect, and it's about 1k in length. You can camp all along the creek there. Now, as for where the gold is coming from, so we have here Italian Gully, which runs down into West Coast Creek on Nev's property. It meets up about there. Now, that's a dry gully, so you can't really sort of define it too much, but that does run into the creek. Now, the reason why this is important is because Italian Gully is a gold-bearing area here, and it takes feed from up in the hills from all of these guys. Now, because the creek beds are relatively dry, it just runs all the way down through here into West Coast Creek. You've also got a feeder here, and over in these areas go directly into West Coast Creek, which gives you all of the deposits that are all the way along the creek here, and I'll put some videos up showing you what the territory actually looks like. Past the cemetery a little bit here, and right at the end of the road is the entry to the property, and the gates are normally closed, but it looks like it's open today for some reason. So you'll come up here and then drive off to the right. Just come down here and you can go either right or left. Don't go left, that just goes up to Nev's house. You have to take the right-hand turn, and it goes to the camping areas. And we'll go for a drive down here and see what it's like. And coming up here to what I would refer to as the first crossing, and it's where you cross the creek, and you can prospect around here if you like, but most people go up to the second crossing, which is where I would usually head. So let's go through here. You can get over there with a two-wheel drive if you need to. Put it in the ground where the flowers grow. Gold and silver shine. And once we go past the green water tank and solar panels, we're going to come down to this section here, which is what I refer to as the second crossing. And you can usually get across here with a two-wheel drive. I've seen plenty of cars parked down here. It's not very deep, maybe a few inches. Might be impassable, I guess, when there's been some heavy rains, but it's not the case usually. And anywhere out onto the right here is where you can camp. That is if you don't want to go in between the first and second crossing, which a lot of people do. Toilets down here. And we'll just drive through a little bit. This is my favourite place. There's campfires set up, and you'll be only a few metres from the creek. Oh, how convenient this place is here. So just have a look how close we are to the creek, and you can see that we're straight onto bedrock just down here, and the bedrock here is all slate. You can set up a little chair. The sluice is running in the middle of winter, and the pay material's just over here behind a tree, so it's quite convenient, and you could almost shovel directly into your sluice from here. This is the back end of the property where you would be the furthest from the entry gate, and I'm going to come down here and we're going to see where the back fence is, and there's a road behind it, which is just over there, but you can see the stream coming down through here, and again there's lots of really nice bedrock areas, including these two monster big rock outcrops. And if you can have a look here, you have a look down here in this bedrock, you can see that there's quartz running right through it, which of course would excite anyone who wants to find themselves a little piece of gold. But let's go for a bit of a walk down there and see what else we can find. Past the second crossing, you've got this long straight section, and it comes around here to a place where Nev might cross in his four-wheel drive when he's working the cows. But this is where a lot of gold, I guess, is found, or people try to at least. I can see the very big boulders here have had some work done behind them, and I'll just jump through here. We've got an inside bend, and lots of big rocks have gathered there, and they gather there for a reason. It's obviously got less water flow. They fall away, and the gold falls away with them. You can see that someone's done some work here and hopefully found themselves something shiny. And then we'll just come back up towards the area that's a bit closer to where the bedrock starts. So just past these rocks, we get to an area where you probably commence about 100 metres of bedrock. The bedrock here is primarily slate, and the slate breaks away or decomposes pretty easily. You often find that you've got a lot of grey material at the bottom of your pan. We're just upstream of the second crossing now, and if we look back towards where most people camp, there's a waterhole that Nev's dug out for people to swim in. We'd be doing it this morning, but just at the second crossing, and we're going to take a little walk downstream. In summer, you're going to get a high of about 29 during the day, and it doesn't even get too cool at night. By winter, it's still in the 20s at daytime, and usually not that cold, although you can get a cold night. But when you have a look at the rainfall for the area, you can see that there's quite a bit of rain, unless you're in July. At least half of the days through spring and autumn are still going to rain, but it's so warm it doesn't really bother you About 100 metres downstream of the second crossing, there's a heavily worked section here that is worked because the ground comes off some old tailings or diggings and they still contain bits of gold if you're prepared to work really hard. And you do have to work hard to find gold here, but you can find a steady amount. This is where I put a sluice before. It's perfect if you're working this area. When I'm working this area, I would be digging behind rocks like this. Someone's obviously been in there. Come down here. Lots of more beautiful creek to work. And I'll try and just keep walking, I guess. Maybe I'll shut up for a bit. In your heart where tomorrow shines, gold and silver shine. The general store in town can be a little bit expensive, so try and take all the stuff that you need. But there's a nice little Art Deco cafe there called Rosie's that's well worth a visit. If you want a good feed, go down to the Kilkivan pub for dinner. I mean, I went there with a mate, Covo, and it was like a Tuesday night or something. And we thought we'd get a table easily, but we were lucky to even snag a seat there. It's as if the whole town comes out to eat there. The prices are reasonable and the bloody steak is magnificent. There's no time to cry. Great free little RV stop just across the road from the pub. She usually gets pretty packed out with grey nomads, but you'd find a spot. The mobile coverage there is really good and it's got excellent toilet facilities. These are the takings from my day and a half trip to Kilkivan, Sweeney's property, and we're just panning down the final concentrates here to see how well we went. I collected this material over three 3-hour sessions, that is 3 hours with the sluice on the first morning. And the second day, and in the afternoon of the first day, I just did test panning here and there until I found little spots where there were some traces. Dug down a bit further. Some of them didn't have anything more than the few specks that I found, but I did eventually get onto a couple of patches where it was worth spending, in particular, 3 hours on the second day. So let's see how lucrative it was. In your heart where tomorrow shines, gold and silver shine. I reckon, looking at that, there's that one nice picker and I don't know, a nice little collection of other bits and pieces. I reckon there might be 0.4 or 0.5 of a gram there for three 3-hour sessions.